I also killed Fisthook. Is that just a meme now? We're just killing Fisthook for meme fun, meme kicks. Ah! Oh, clip it! Holly, did you see that? Oh! Oh! I dived into your body to become one with you. Oh.
It's your man, PooNanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And Hermit, your one-stop headshot shop. Welcome to SpawnPoint episode 2, everyone. We call it Bang Shooty. We have some really great Contractors news to bring to the table, some really beautiful art, and an excellent interview with a good look at the Pavlov competitive scene.
Yeah, we're going to try our best to keep it short here, but, you know, we kick it off with a bang. Everybody here loves Lonely Viper, and he actually helped get VRML up off the ground and has continued to push from Onward onto Contractors. Contractors still getting their competitive scene, I think, off the ground. There was, like, you know, a bit of a slowdown. You know, you beat the hype cycle. You know, is this hit or miss? But I think the wave is starting to come back in for Contractors. We're starting to see a lot more people roll into it. We're going to talk about it more. As is written, the summer is hot and the competition has been even hotter. So let's just jump right into Contractors.
The Contractors Season 1 Summer Championship Finals just finished up on August 3rd with an amazing series of matches between some truly impressive competitors. The semifinals were a pair of hard-fought matches between the Assassins and Resolve, along with the Leftovers and the Danglers, with the Assassins and the Leftovers moving forward to the finals.
Yeah, that's right, and they fought hard in the finals with a nail-biting battle for dominance. Both the Assassins and the Leftovers did an amazing job, with Phoenix showing off their pro-casting skills. The Leftovers win it all, taking home 1,000 euros in both equipment from ProTube, among other prizes. Contractors is going all out with the esports content recently, and it shows. That spectator client is sick.
I agree with you on that one, Nanners. Honestly, Contractors is a long-time favorite of mine, and I think Onward better keep an eye out. Contractors is a little more fast-paced, and even though it's currently a little less known, it might be a serious contender for best VR FPS, in my opinion.
Oh, these casting tools are sick. I mean, you got to take a look at how great a job they are at showing off the game. I believe this is Phoenix broadcasting on Proper D's channel, so that because no one else was spectating. So like, all right, we'll be the official spectator for it. And here she is, just going with it, showing how the ease of use of these controls, how it shows off the game. Post processing is all there, so everything looks beautiful, and you can also see those little halos of the characters like you would expect to see in an FPS game. Very good. It just came out last month. They had a recent visual overhaul, which is why you're seeing all this good post-processing. And I even heard that Live is now compatible with Contractors, which is going to be huge for streamers and in the game as a whole.
I'm definitely into testing that on my stream, personally. I've been having a lot of fun with Blade and Sorcery. I want to get into the actual gunplay, get some Live going on with that. But if anyone's interested in competing in Contractors, just make sure to pick up the game on Steam and join their Discord channel to get into that competitive scene. Check out that VRML page, which we'll link down below. If you're interested in casting for Contractors, give our man Nightfire a DM on Twitter or Discord. He is in the Contractors Discord as well. And I'm sure he'll be glad to see way more people interested in casting the game. We need way more people in the scene, bring Contractors up to where it really belongs.
That's right. Nightfire is a streamer. He's part of the VRML crew. He's also part of our crew, and he is here to help you guys get going. VRML has incredible tools for production quality, and we work together with them on we work together with VRML to produce content for them as well. And we've even talking about building a partnership to just have for each of the leagues, as you get casters going, flying them out to the studio and doing finals from within the studio for a nice big blowout at the end. So that's just more things.
It'd be really awesome to get everyone there in person, especially because
I don't have that kind of room in this house.
Right.
But we could definitely do the casters. That's an affordable solution for now. But what would be interesting is if they do have lift support and it works well, they will be the only VR esport that has it.
Yeah. Which would be crazy, especially if we can get all the competitors to stream their live view the same time that we get the
it would make for a good selling point for anybody trying to do this live, like do it at like DreamHack or PAX, and you just have like instead of a bunch of green screens, because of just the pain that it would be, especially you want a big open stage, just slapping a Kinect onto a camera with like a spectator camera strap to it. That'd just be brilliant. Just seeing like the crazy rigs, and it's got like a Vive tracker snacked on the camera too. So just this insane rig, just like trying to watch the guy. Oh, that'd be brilliant. We have to fly out Giant Socks for that. He's the only one that can figure that kind of technology out. But moving on, this week for our SpawnPoint interview, we had Hermit go out and talk to recent champions of Contractor's Summer Championship, this time the Leftovers.
Yeah, no, I had a great talk with both Proper D and his team leader VTAC about a ton of stuff, from the competition to other shooters. Both V and TAC had some awesome opinions on Spectator VR and the future of it, so it's definitely something that everyone should watch. Here's a clip of it just to give you a little bit of a taste.
Joining TL was actually from online, was from Wardust. I believe this jerk kept flying in on a parachute and shooting me in the face. So I made it my mission to go attack him every time, and that ended up being I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. I always just call him Sushi. What is it, Majute Sushi?
Correct. Well done. Have a cookie.
But so he invited me to the Discord, and I got to know everybody, and that's we've met up and everything. We play games all the time, and so I mean you can meet them online. You definitely have to be more engaged, and I just got lucky to find this group of people, really. But
yeah,
so
lucky to get you met the rest of the Leftovers through Sushi.
Yeah, yeah, he was the first one, and then I think Dis was the other one. He jumped in on Wardust every now and then just through talking on the Discord and everything, and then once.
Yeah, that was Proper D, right? VTAC on the team Leftovers, right? Both of those?
No, VTAC's the one with the hat, and D's the one with the parrot. Gotta love them both.
Yeah. So, we wish those guys well. Hope they enjoy their victory that they took. We want to spotlight some art that happened, right? Taking a small break from Warfare competition. Hermit reached out and actually got some different, something different for us to show off. He finally found a VR artist on Twitter that we believe deserves more recognition. Know anything more about this guy? Let's talk about it. Let's take a look.
Yeah, his name is A Giant Swan. He goes by his actual name, I believe, is Travis von Zanen. His pseudonym is A Giant Swan. I believe he's from Australia, and he makes these extremely evocative pieces like these that I enjoy a ton. Using a combination of tilt brush and NMVR, his pieces just pop and tend to bring me into a really interesting headspace. The music choice, which you can't hear now, but if you go to his Twitter page at A Giant Swan, is excellent for all of his pieces and really complements the entire ordeal. It's a very cohesive experience.
Oh, absolutely. And I love what artists do with tools when you give them. It's something that we enjoyed back early on when we first started experimenting with sandbox games. You just create a bunch of tools like, here's some Lego blocks, and you watch these artists create amazing things. And when I saw the artist tools that they had for VR, I was like, I can't wait to watch artists get into it. I mean, like Tilt Brush, like early days, they just reached out to Titmouse, the guys who make a lot of stuff for Adult Swim, and they're just like let loose. And even like Chris, who owns the place, he had a whole bunch of just like wild, like flaming motorcycles. All kinds of fun stuff, man, in there. So I love watching these artists make a name for themselves in a new medium, and as a result, really developing a lot of experience with what they can do in them.
Totally. He's actually been doing a lot of live shows recently. I've been checking that out on his Twitter, and there's a big feature and a big scene, honestly, just for people doing live tilt brush shows. It's really something impressive to do when you combine theater and art into one whole thing. And even though we at Vrespawn put a massive focus on competitive VR, I think it's really cool to take a second and kind of smell the virtual roses,
Art can be competitive, and it happens VR, man. That's competitive VR, man. As a matter of fact, I could not find this information, but there was a bunch. I think it was ESL that was talking about. Somebody was talking about it, but there was like this. There was a. I don't know if it's a tilt brush, but there was a VR art competition that was happening, like a world VR art competition that was happening. The director is telling us it was Oculus Modeler thing. That's like all we could remember. But I was looking around Twitter. I was like, I know I saw this somewhere. But we were too busy dealing with something else that it just kind of slipped. But, moving on to Pavlov, getting back to the battlefield as Hermit has for us to say. This game's always been in the public eye, but the competitive scene has been somewhat underground. Like, they were very explosive at first, and there was a bit of a schism where they went and founded their own league, and they came back to VRL, and then the 1v1 league got very popular for a while, and we even got an article about that up on the website. It's a lot of stuff going on. Right now, there's a lot of custom modes and workshop maps, just like you would have in regular CSGO, of which it's based, such as Trouble in Terrorist Town and Jailbreak. Me, I'm a fan of Prop Hunt. I can't wait to see that in a VR game.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I miss Prop Hunt.
I want to live as a
prop hunt.
Or The Floor is Lava is also a favorite. What a lot of people aren't really aware of is this extremely competitive, close-knit community that is Pavlov VRML.
Allegedly.
Well, fair enough.
Allegedly, of course. The Pavlov VRML is actually in its eighth week of its fifth season and has been going strong for a pretty good amount of time now, even though it doesn't seem like a lot of people are aware of it. This last week, I actually saw a couple of really impressive matches. I really enjoyed the Partizan versus Reservoir Dogs about 2 days ago. And there are many other match VODs that you can check out in the Pavlov VRML Discord. Though not all of them are casted or spectator view. A lot of them are from the viewpoints of the players. They are great matches to watch.
But we could use casters and commentators. And they could reach out to Docking Man or Nightfire or Sleepy in order to get pulled into that if you want to do it. And it's kind of been a weird thing. Like we had casters that did it, and then they kind of stopped. And then we used to cover Pavlov here at Vrespawn, and then our people that would write and produce those pieces, they also kind of disappeared or found jobs and other things they had to do. So we reach out, it's like, all right, who wants us to cover their stuff? They're like, everybody. Is like, who wants to help us do it? Nobody. So here we are. We congratulate the top 3 teams in Pavlov VRML. Team Thinking, Robo Electric Kitten Team, which has Bro, also known as Twee Middle Ground, on it, who was an original founder for Vrespawn before he went on to actually do something with his life. With Thinking only, I think 30 MMR ahead of Robo and Dream, who have been top dogs for a long time. And it was a neck-and-neck competition for the most part, with Thinking just barely eking out leader status. I can imagine a ranking shakeup in the future as virtual assassins are right on their heels to vie for the leadership spots. It's super easy to hop on and get into the competitive scene, though, and everybody there is super friendly. The first thing they teach you to do is, if you're used to playing CSGO, like flush all of that, because it does not actually work in the VR version of CSGO. So
except for the peaks. If you got good peak strategy, you better be on those peaks.
Peeking a little bit, but a lot of people forget. It's like, you can blind fire.
Just go around the corner.
Oh man, and breaking eye contact with like flashbangs, just the kind of moves that you can pull. Especially if someone's pulling like a B rush, you hear him coming of it, and just I can't remember the guy's name, but we highlighted that almost a full years ago, and it's such a brilliant move. He gets a 5-person like full ace on the other team because he just hears him going for a B rush. He runs around, he takes that short flash grenade, pokes his head around like the hallway, throws it right in their face, breaks eye contact, and he pulls out a pistol with this hand and a mag with this hand. And he's like, the 9/11, I think it was, and he's like, he counts the bullet, swaps it out, wipes the whole freaking team in reverse order of how blind they were. It was just absolutely amazing. And what kills me is I can't remember his name, but because I burned it into my head after seeing that. I was like, ah! Anyway.
If you're out there and that was you, comment below, and we'll definitely make sure to give you the recognition you deserve.
Yes, we really need more people in the headset. So if you play Pavlov and you think you have the chops to be in the league, then get in that Discord and stop popping some heads.
Just for fun, we've got a really funny little Pavlov clip for you this week. We call it the Love Across the Berlin Wall. It really does, though.
Yeah, breathe. Oh, come on,
I'm over here drinking.
Come on, Dapper, come on. Drop the knife, you Stall him for another 20 seconds.
I love you, I want to love you, but I can't do that unless you drop.
Be careful, that crack is dangerous. Crack kills.
Ha! Crack kills, kids.
Yeah, man. Rough stuff right there, but always fun. Pavlov is just one of those games you immediately recognize from like your childhood. The whole Counter-Strike look, you immediately recognize Dust when you see it. A favorite one that's one of the only maps that's like full on implemented in that game and used in competitive play. So that's really worth checking out if you are a CS fan and don't currently play it. However, I do suggest you kind of get into the Discord and start to find where the players that you think that you're going to match up with socially are, and then try to get into privates with them. Right now, the public space is a bit of a hit or miss. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, the Pavlov community, while totally by far the most active VR community out there, it's definitely worthwhile to find a group of friends to match up with, get a good team with, because you will, like normal Counter-Strike, if your team drags you down, you're not going to have a fun time.
That's absolutely correct, and it's unfortunately like unlike Rec Room, they don't have those tools for being able to like separate you from like the super immature players yet.
One of these days, VR games will like match up with actual flat games, and we'll have good moderation tools. Well, we've had that issue in PokerStars for a while now.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you gotta keep in mind, Dave is just one man. I mean, he does have a couple of other developers that are listed as developers, but for the most part, he does a lion's share of the work. Well, that does it for us. Thanks to everyone for joining us in this week's SpawnPoint. Make sure to catch us again next time for more weekly VR news and content.
Make sure to visit us at vrespawn.com for the latest and greatest coverage of all these events, as well as articles about all aspects of the virtual world. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/vrespawn for updates on us and our team, as well as follow both Nanners and I on Twitter to see what's going on with us.
That's right. Now, this week's virtual news was brought to you by Vrespawn and was actually produced completely by Hermit here. I think we had a couple other writers that we tried to reach out to, but no like significant production this time around. But if you want to be a writer on this show, Hermit's looking for you as a producer. He needs anybody who wants to come in. If you have some other art, if you did not like our Pavlov logo, send it our way. Again, I am PooNanners.
And I'm Hermit, signing off on another virtually perfect day. Good luck out there, everyone, and remember, buy a helmet every round. You're going to need it.
Go.